fellow Math students, Mr. Giamini, wanted to come to you with a little bit of help and assistance on 7-8 Math Excel, which was assigned to you yesterday. All right, we're going to go through these answers. Ideally, what you should have is the work that you did yesterday, assuming that you did work on pen and pencil. You would have work that you can then check against my work. All right. Now, we're doing volume here. Great thing about volume, it hasn't changed. Volume equals length times width times height. Or you can even simplify it to this. Just volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. Either one of these two work. If we take a look here, all we're doing now is we have fractions, mixed numbers. Not a big deal. We did that back in topic 1. Again, the nice blending of all these topics together help us develop that foundation to solve more complex problems such as this. It says find the volume of the rectangular prism. All right, so I could just go, hey, volume equals, and if I wanted to, I could just do this. Hey, this is the height, this is the length, and this is the width. All right, now knowing that, I'm just going to go, hey, volume equals, length is 4.5, and I can convert these to decimals if I'd like, because 4.5 is the same as 4 5/10 times the width, which is 6, times the height, which is 2.5. All right, I could just go, hey, 6 times 4 gives me 24, plus I got to multiply that half also by the 6. Half of 6 gives me 3. So 4.5 times 6 actually gives me 27. Now I go 27 times 2.5. Again, same process here. 27 times 2, double 27, we get 54. Now, what is half? What is half of 27? Well, that would give me an extra 13.5. So I combine these two, I'm going to end up with 67.5, and we're dealing with volume here, so it's cubic centimeters. All right? So the next one. Find the volume of the rectangular prism. Again, I'm going length times width times height. Height is here. Length goes left to right. Width goes front to back. You want to think of it that way. And again, I'm going volume. I'm going to do this one to get a little differently. Area of the base times the height. Well, the base is the length and the width. And if I were to draw a line here, it's right here. So I go 5 times 4.5. 5 times 4 gives me 20, plus a half of 5. A half of 5 gives me 2.5. So that tells me the area of the base is 22.5 times 2.5. All right, now let's see here if this works. It's a little more complex. I have 22.5 times 2.5. I could do 22 times 2 gives me 44. Then I got to go half of 2.5 and then half of 22.5. Which for us, it might just be easier to go right now. 22.5 times 2.5. We don't have to line up decimals when we multiply. It just so happens to be here. It does. That gives us 25. That gives me 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 10 and 11, we put a 0 here. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and we have another 4. I'm going to add this. This is 5. This is 6. This is 2. This is 5. We would add decimal over once and twice. We would end up a volume of 56 and 2,500 cubic feet. Oh, sorry, I'm going back to centimeters again from the last problem. Cubic feet. All right. I'm going to pull out the calculator here just to double check my math. So I'm going to convert these to decimals. 2.5 times 4.5 times 5 gives us 56.25, just as I anticipated. All right, excellent. Let's take a look at the next question that you had. Find the volume of the rectangular prism. Now they're just giving us decimals. All right, again, it could be, because it's a rectangular prism, it could just be area of the base times the height. that base is right here. 6/10 and 7/10. All right, I believe that 6 times 7 gives me 42. Move that decimal over 2 places. I believe it gives me 42 hundredths. All right, we have 42 hundredths times 2 and 8/10. So I'm subject to say, hey, what's about half of 2 and 8/10? Half of 2 and 8/10 gives me roughly 1 and 4/10. I'm guessing my answer is going to be a little less than 1 and 4/10 because I have a little less than half. All right. Again, I'm going to use a calculator here. I'm doing some good job of estimating. I'm going to reward myself by using a calculator. So we have 6/10 area of the base times 7/10 gives us that 42 hundredths. We're going to take 42 hundredths, which is less than half, and multiply it by 2 and 8/10. Actually, so wait a minute. Well, I'm taking less than half. My answer might be a little bit bigger than 2 and 8/10. So we'll go times 2 and 8/10, or time, I'm sorry, 1.4. Hey, oh no, I was right the first time. 1.176. So I have an answer of volume equals 1 and 176 thousandths square feet. Or cubic feet, excuse me. Now let me go back to this. What was I thinking here? So I was thinking, hey, I'm going to have half of this. Half of this is approximately 1.5. But wait a minute, I have less than half, meaning I have less than this. Now, there we go. There's my thought process there. Got to get it straight. All right, good. Let's take a look at the next one. Think about the process. A right rectangular prism has a length of 3 1/3 feet, a width of 1 1/3 feet, and a height of 2 1/3 feet. You use cubes with fractional edge length 1/3 of a foot to find the volume. How many cubes are there for the length and width and height? Find the volume. All right, now, some thought process here. I'm going to draw this. All right? This reminds me of a con skill. That's over the past few years, kids have always struggled with this con skill. All right, let's take a look. So there's my rectangular prism. I'm doing my best to draw this with some level of accuracy, precision. All right, it says the length. Length goes left to right. It's 3 1/3 feet. The width goes front to back is 1 1/3 feet. And the height is 2 1/3 feet. We have cubes that are 1/3 of a foot. So a cube here. If I think about a cube, there is my cube that has a fractional edge length of 1/3. So I'm trying to think, how many thirds go into this? How many thirds go into this? And how many thirds go into this? I know that 1/3 goes into one whole. So if I had 3/3, that is equal to 3 1/3 cubes. 3 1/3 cubes. All right. So if I have 1 1/3, that gives me 3 of these going to here plus the 1. So that gives me 4. So that means now that the width is 4 cubes. Okay. If 3 cubes go into 1, then if we had 3 whole, 3 goes to that 3 groups of 3 and 3, that gives me 9 plus the 1 gives me, hey, we have 10 cubes here. And here we have how many 1/3s going to 2 1/3? Well, 3 goes into 1, 6 would go into 2, plus that extra 1 there, that would give me 7. So if I think about this here, the length left to right is 10 cubes. The width front to back is 4 cubes, and the height is 7 cubes. If I were to find the volume, cube-wise, I'd go length times width times height. 10 times 4 is 40. 40 times 7 is 280. I would need 280 cubes to fill that up. All right? Again, that one requires a little bit of thought there. We can't just go ahead and multiply things. We've got to put some thought into it. Actually do a little division there. Okay? Next one. Megan has 2 boxes with the dimensions shown. She wants to use the box with the greater volume to ship a gift to a friend. Which box should Megan use? Explain. All right, box A. Got to be careful because the information here is going left to right. So box A, and box B over here. I'm going to convert these into some decimals instead. So we have box A, volume equals, we could do area of the base times the height if we'd like. The base is the length and the width. So it's 9.5 times 3 times 15.5. We go box B. Same thing here. Volume equals the area of the base. Area of the base times the height. The base is length and width. 10 times 3 1/4, which is 3 1/4, times 12.5, which is 12.5. All right. Just to expedite this, we're going to use that calculator again. We're going to go 9.5 times 3. So the area of that base gives me 28.5. I'm going to multiply that by 15.5. Gives me an answer of 441 7/75, and we're both doing cubic yards here, so that's good. We don't have different dimensions or different units of measure. All right, so that's the volume of box A. We go to box B. We have 10 times 32 or 3 1/4. Well, that would give me 32.5. I can do that easily in my head. Times 12.5. All right, we're going to go 32.5 times 12.5. Gives me an answer of 406 1/4, or 25/100. Again, label this stuff cubic yards. Okay, taking a look. I could drop down my menu here. So she should choose. She wants the one with the greater volume. So she should go with box A. Would be the choice Megan would want to make to ship off that gift to me. All right, so the next one. The volume of a large tank is 525 cubic yards. It is 23 1/3 yard wide and 33 1/3 yard high. What is the length? Oh boy. Okay, let's go back to our original formula for volume. Volume equals length times width times height. They've given us 3 numbers. I have 4 variables down there. We're going to have to substitute them into the right place. First thing it says volume equals. That replaces which variable? It replaces the V. I don't need the cubic yards, so we have here 525 is equal to. It says the length. We don't know the length. You know what? I'm going to put that L at the end because I know the width and the height. The width is 23 1/3. I'm going to leave that like that. Times 3 1/3 times the length. Now they make this a little bit more challenging on me because they give me these fractions. Now 1/3 as a decimal repeats forever. I'm not going to be able to do that as a decimal. That's not going to really be precise. So this left side of the equation stays the same. I must simplify this right side. To do this, I'm going to convert these into improper fractions. So we go 23 times 3. I believe gives me 969 plus 1. That should give me 70/3 times. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So we have 10/3 times the length. Unfortunately, I cannot do any cross reduction. So again, 525 is still left here by itself. It is equal to 700/3 times the length. Now we want to isolate. We want to evaluate. So we want to evaluate for that L. We don't need to know what 700/3 L are. We want to know what L is. We're going to do the inverse. We want to get rid of this guy. We're going to inverse. So the inverse of multiplying by 700/3 is to divide. We're going to divide both sides by 700/3. Now, that 700/3 becomes our divisor. When we are multiplying or we're dividing fractions, we take the reciprocal of that divisor and multiply. This cancels out. I'm now left with 525 over 1 times the reciprocal is 3/700. Now, I'm pretty confident that 25 goes into both of these. All right, if I want to help myself out here. 25 goes into 100 4 times, so it goes into 700. It goes into that 4 times. We're going to go 28 times then. 28, so that gives me a 28. 25 goes into 525. It goes into 104 times, 208, 312, 406, right? And then we have that extra, let's see, we go 5 times, that's 20, is that 21? Let's double check here. Should take my calculator. Try to do a lot of my math in my brain here. 525 divided by 25 equals, hey, 21. All right, now again, this is not great, but it's a little easier. 21 times 3. 21 times 3 gives me 63 over 28. It's kind of an awkward number. I'm trying to think of factors that both have in common. I believe 7. So I'm going to divide both by 7 to simplify this. That gives me 9. That would give me 4. So that gives me an answer of 2, which gives me 8, 2 and 1/4. So I believe that would be 2 and 1/4. 2 and 1/4, and we're talking about length, and we're talking about yards. 2 and 1/4 yard. Again, I think I did all my math right there. To check this, I would multiply this times 2. Let me just, curiosity here, let's go 23 times 3 times 2. 23 times 3 times 2. Interesting. Not confident about this answer. What could I possibly do here? Now, I know I got all these thirds and quarters. So that's where I'm kind of, that doesn't even seem close to being 525. Let's go back through my work here. Let's see, that gives me, 69, 70, 70 over 3, 910, good. 700, oh, there's my mistake. This should be 700 over 9. Yes, 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 yes. Find my mistake. Love it. All right. Biggest part of learning is to, when you get an answer, not to be married to it. Think about, does it make sense? There's no way. So here we go. Yes, love it, love it, love it. Find my mistake. I'm happy about that. I'm not upset about making a mistake. I'm actually happy I went back and took the time to look at the work. So this still gave me 10 over 3. The problem is, this gives me 525 is equal to 700 over 9 times L. Now we'll divide both sides by 700 ninths. Divide by 700 ninths. We have 525 times, we take the reciprocal, is 9 over 700. Let me go back to, I think I had, this was 21. This was, if I remember correctly, that was 28. All right. Now, this gives me, 21 times 9 gives me 189 over 28. Let's see here. 28 goes into 189. Probably about, not 6 times, 7 times, something like that. Let's just double check here. We're going to do this. 189 divided by 28 gives me 6. I was close. That's 6. Now, we have and 30 and 75 hundredths. Does that mean it makes 6 and 3/4? Let's just double check here. So if I went 189 times, not 189, 28 times 6 equals, hey, 168. 168, that gives me 21 over 28. Divide both of those by, because I have 21 left over, because 168 minus, that I can't fit in a group of 28. If I divide both of those by 7, that gives me 3/4. Yes, 6 and 3/4 yard. Now, to double check, 23 times 3 times, I'm going to multiply this by 7 because that's closer to 7 because I'm doing estimation here. 483, feel better about that because I have those thirds. Awesome. All right, cool. Cool. All right. A bin covers an area of 9 and 5/6 square inches when resting on its base. The volume of the box is 9 and 56 in cubic inches. Can the surface area of the box be found? Well, it says the base. It rests on the base, which means the area is, again, volume equals, now we go to area of the base times the height. They're saying the volume is 90 and 5/6 is equal to the area of the base, which is 9 and 5/6 times the height. Whoa, my pen went crazy over there. Come here. And times the height. Could I find, can the surface area of the box be found? Now, can the surface area be found? Well, here's the thing. I could find the height of the box. If I find the height of the box, I do know, let's see, I know the height. Ooh, a bin covers an area of 9 and 6 square inches and resting on its base. So I could find the height. Could definitely find the height. Now, I'm going to have to guess two numbers that would give me because I don't know all the dimensions, do I? So let's see here. I could figure out the height, but I still don't know the length and the width because I'd have to find the length and a width in order to calculate the surface area. But wait. No, that's not going to work. No, the surface area cannot be found because the area of the top and bottom of the bin is known. The width cannot be found, but the width can be found, but not the length and height. Let's see here. Now, no, the surface area cannot be found. The area of the top of the bin is known. The height can be found, but not the length and width. There we go. That's the one we need. We can find the height. We just can't find the length and the width. All right. Next one. Okay. Here we go. A gold bar is similar in shape to a rectangular prism. A bar is approximately 5 inches by 2 3/8 by 1 1/8 inch. If the value of gold is $1,594 per ounce, about how much is a gold bar worth? Use the formula. W is approximately 11 and 1500ths N, where W is the weight in ounces and N equals volume in cubic inches to find the weight in ounces. Explain how you found your answer. Well, if we want to do the volume of the bar, let's find that first. All right, let's find the volume of the bar. Volume equals length times width times height, or base times height. Volume of the area of the base times height. We have 5 times 2 3/8 times 1 1/4. All right. We got 5. I'm going to convert this. That's 16, 17, 18, 19. 19/8 times 4. 5 fourths. We'll put this over 1. I know that 8 times 4 is 32 plus 1 just gives me 32. Or times 1, excuse me. We have 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 19. 25 times 19. About 500. 475. Okay, we're going to take 475 divided by 32 to get 14. So I'm going to take 32 times 14. 32 times 14 equals 448. So I'm going to take what I have, 475. I can make 448 groups of 32. That leaves me with 6. That's 2. That's about 27 over 32, which cannot be simplified. So the volume of the gold bar is about 14 and 27 32s square or cubic inches. So cubic inches. All right. Now it says use the formula W is approximately 11 1/5 N, where W is the weight in ounces. Okay. Now, and N is volume in cubic inches. Well, here's the volume in cubic inches. So we're taking, is it 11 1500ths times 14 and 27 30-seconds? Because W, right, says N is the volume in cubic inches, which we have. Okay. And then we have W is approximately 11 1500ths times this. Now, here's where we get a little crazy here. Are we going to go 11 1500ths times? Now, let's do something here. 27 divided by 32 equals 0.84375. So this is really 14.84375. So we're going to go that. We'll take 14 and 84375 times 11. Oh, got to start all over. 11 1500ths times 14.84375 gives me that answer. So the gold bar is worth about $165.51. You approximate that too. All right. Ooh, that was a tough one. And is that it? Last one. I'll let you figure that out yourself. 1.5 times 3.5 times 7. I got time here. Let's do it. This video is going to be exceptionally long. Volume equals area of the base, or length times width, and then times the height. So we have 1 1/2 times 3.5 times 7. See, let's round these up to 2. 2 and 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. It should be under 56. I'm going to cheat here, use a calculator real quick. Going to convert these to decimals. We have 1 1/2 times 3.5 times 7 equals 36 and 75 hundredths. 36 and 75 hundredths. That is cubic centimeters. I should just, yeah, cubic centimeters. There you go. All right, good deal. Hope this helps. This is the longest video I think I've ever made, so hopefully it'll be worth something. Take care. Bye.